Deleted session, January 24, 1980. Good afternoon. First of all, it is because Ruber was relaxed and open to his impulses that you have today's information. The situation is basically as I described it to you. Rob noted last night. They said, caused by frightening beliefs and suggestion. That fear, however, also helped bring about a kind of switch over in communications that I will try as best I can to explain. I have told you that the very cells of the body are aware of the conditions in the environment, of other cells, and of course, of the creatures within the environment. That information is very rarely made conscious. If circumstances warrant it, however, such information may be switched over to other channels of communication, so that it appears in the form of, say, an impulse to do a certain thing, to call a certain person, or whatever. Then you think of the information as telepathic. You tried hard not to think of your friend Lino because his situation so upset you. At the same time, you were concerned for him, of course. His illness brought up a million questions about the nature of illness and death, age, and so forth, backed up by your society's negative beliefs. So you tried harder not to think of your friend Lino, and of course you couldn't relax. Your body cells knew at the same time that your friend was in some difficulty and wanted help. The cells in Lino's body, in a manner of speaking, sent out a message for help, radiated outward for a receiver. Now, had you been following your natural impulses, your body cells would have picked up that message easily. You received them in any case because of your connections with your friend, your affection for him, and the years of association in the old apartment house. Had you been relaxed, following your impulses, and unhampered by the fearful beliefs that your friend's condition also aroused, then those cellular messages would have been smoothly translated into an impulse to call Lino or to have Ruber call. Your fears got in the way. Whenever you thought of Lino, you told yourself to forget it. Your affection for Lino is strong. Your desire to be in contact with him was greater than your fear. What happened was that the communications were forced to take another route. You experienced chest discomfort. Now that chest discomfort immediately reminded you of your friend and was meant, again, to tell you that he was in some difficulty. By the time we had our session last night, the difficulty was largely over. Your own feelings, however, exaggerated the signals to begin with, and to some extent prolonged them. Ruber actually followed through for you, not realizing this consciously, by finally calling Lino this morning, when he discovered that Lino had been feeling poorly off and on during the same time that you had your difficulties, and that Lino was looking for someone to do an errand. Actually, Ruber had thought of calling before, but also did not for fear of aggravating your own situation. He was even tempted to not tell you the entire situation for the same reason. And that entire process is a conscious version of what you did at other levels. You would not tell yourself that Lino could stand some help, because your fear made you misinterpret a message. In this case, you had a kind of sympathetic drama that was symbolically and literally meant to remind you of Lino. The cellular signals were sent out, but you could have reacted to them in any given number of ways once you received them. You wanted to receive them, or you would not have. Again, They could have been simply translated into adult like, maybe I should call Lino. He might want some help. But the fears you had said about the situation prevented the easy translation. In a way, Rupert's call resolved the drama, even though the message is late. Lino is doing well. And it was indeed his own exaggerated fears about his condition that led to the rather frenzied message to begin with. Therefore, in a way, your body was subjected to stress that it did not need, as the message was translated into physical terms of discomfort. This does not mean that people pick up the symptoms of another willy-nilly without their permission. It means that the cells send out messages of exaltation and happiness as well as distress, and that you react to these in various fashions at different times, according to the conditions. The similar nature of your complaint to Lino's, however, should have instantly reminded you of such a situation. Now, to a lesser degree, and in a different fashion, your cat rabnoted Billy. Cecil also reacted. The overall emotional coloration and vitality of all of the creatures, say, within any given arbitrary environment is highly complicated, so that there is, of course, a psychological climate to which you react, as there is a physical one. If it rains, you can stay inside, run naked between the raindrops, wear galoshes, and carry an umbrella. Take a cup, or be so involved in your own activities that you are not even aware that it is raining at all, and the same applies to inclement psychological climates. It is as if seeing a raindrop, you are terrified of a thunderstorm, so you close your eyes so as not to see the rain, until finally, to your surprise, your feet became soaking wet, and the message got through. That is a simplified version, certainly, of the psychological actions that occurred. Do you have any questions? Ralph said, I had a few from last night's session, but this clears them up. Seth said, this should clear the air considerably, and I bid you a fine and hearty good afternoon. Ralph said, thank you.